very respected clergyman, Kumuyi, in his sermons this past weekend, actually harped on the fact that Christians should shun church this time around and use their offerings to feed the poor. According to the General Superintendent of the Deeper Life Bible Church, Dr. William Folonshaw Kumuyi, he urged Christians to give their offerings to the poor and the unemployed around them rather than take that money to the church. Now, as captured in a video that has since gone viral online, Kumuyi gave the advice while addressing his church congregation, and it's regarding the current economic hardship in the country. All right, so a lot of comments have trailed this actual comments coming from Kumuyi, a man of God who runs a church himself, advising churchgoers to take their offerings to the poor on the street and not bring it to the church. Mr. Zukama, how do you wade into this?
Fundamentally, there's nothing wrong with what Kumuyi is saying, because like I've always said, time and time again, there's nothing you can really do for God. Man cannot do anything for God. So when we talk about loving God, it's loving your fellow human being. You don't see God, and God doesn't need your love. It's too big, too grand, too indescribable, too magnificent, that your love does him nothing. But my love to my fellow human being can mean so much to my fellow human being. Therefore, start whatever you're doing for God. Do it to human beings. The first, yes. So love your neighbor as yourself. That's the cornerstone of the teachings of Jesus Christ, So giving it to the poor is very wonderful. Sharing with others, loving others, respecting others. Like I've said time and time again, I don't respect people for what they have, because you might be extremely rich, but I'm not going to come and ask you for your money. You might be extremely educated, but you're not going to read my letter for me or write my name for me. You might live in a mansion. I will not come to live in your house. So I judge you by how you treat your fellow human beings, because that's the ultimate test of a man. But then I have issues with people like Kumuyi and co. There's no way you can preach the gospel of Jesus Christ in line with the teachings of Jesus Christ and be a billionaire and have 3 private jets. No, something has gone wrong. You have taken to either fleecing your members by twisting the gospel of Jesus Christ, but I have issues with it. A man like Kumuyi...
Can I understand you, Mr. Izukama? Are you trying to say, as a clergy, as a man of God, you are not supposed to live a life of affluence? Is that what you're saying?
You can be affluent, but you cannot afford to be... Let me use the word extravagant for lack of words. You can be very comfortable.
But extravagance is relative. What is extravagant to you might not be extravagant to me.
Yes. What is extravagant?
So if I have 3 jets, and I have a reason why I have 3 jets.
If you have 3 jets and your members are homeless, your members are unemployed, something is wrong. I had given a house, my room in my house, to a married couple with 2 kids. Those kids, as of then, they could barely feed themselves and continually ask me money for food. But they belong to one of these powerful, wealthy churches. Not powerful, wealthy. A church where the pastor is powerful and wealthy. You have ushers who have been in your church, working for your church for 20, 25 years, and their children cannot attend the university supposedly owned by the church. Okay? Why don't you say, if you've been with us this long, worked with us this long, been a Christian this long, we can give your children scholarship. We can give them subventions to go to school. If you've been with us this long, proving yourself a credible member of this church, we can give you loans to own a little house for yourself, loans to start business with very low interest rate. There are too many things that can be done. I'm not going to start listing them here, but the insensitivity, the greed involved in the churches as well. I used to be a pastor myself. I worked with a number of pastors. And let me not digress so
Please
much.
don't. That's too much. Because the conversation is taking another turn already.
The point I'm making is that Kumuyi himself can do so much with his church, the expansiveness of his church, the outreach of his church, the connections, I keep mixing up my words. I'm never a morning person. My brain opens up in the evenings. Okay, so to help the poor.
Yeah.
So let him lead the way by bringing out billions in the account of the church and trying to help the poor with sustainable kind of help that will push them from point A to point B. Because sometimes the thing with giving is that you raise an army of beggars, empower people, make them, let them have their own, let them be in a position to take care of themselves and help others. And a church like Deeper Life has the resources to do it. So fundamentally what he's saying is right, but there's much that he can do if it's for real.
Okay, I'll take it that by saying him, you're referring to churches, okay? Just using him as...
Because he's the one speaking.
Right. Yes, so I get what you're saying. So the statement made by Pastor Kumuyi, has generated a lot of comments online. A lot of people actually say this is what most churches need to be doing at this point in time, because for us all to survive in this new economy we find ourselves in, it's an all hands on deck kind of approach that Nigeria needs. So however you can come in as a church, as a mosque, even as a school, whatever, a school owner who has a lot of money, for instance, you can say, okay, for this time, let me help all the parents, don't pay school fees. How about that? Yeah, that will go a long way.
Everybody can get involved, but we have spiritual leaders, we have moral leaders, we have religious leaders who are supposedly the model of chastity, model of decency, model of God-likeness. So let them lead the way, let them spearhead these things, and others will naturally follow.
All right. Well, I don't mean to advertise anybody, so because of that, I will not be mentioning, but the church I go to, all right, I can speak for the church I go to, so far has done well. All right, Christmas last year, all right, free food stuff, I mean, just at that time when food stuff was, people couldn't afford anything, came through for the members and people in the environment, all right. Then in January, right after the new year, 200 naira shopping, was done by my church again. Whatever you buy, be it spaghetti, be it rice, be it tomatoes.
200 naira.
200 naira shopping, yeah. In a Ziploc bag, you have tomatoes, sachet, rodo shop, everything enough to make a pot of stew. 200 naira. Okay. Whatever you buy, 200 naira. 2 jerrycans of rice, 200 naira. Anything, even clothing, shoes, anything you pick, 200 naira. But then you can buy above 10,000 naira. Okay, so that other people look. It was like a festival. Okay, yesterday again, just yesterday, we came back from church with food stuff. What am I saying? Churches, mosques, literally everybody can do something, whatever you can do right now. A lot of people are going through a whole lot. In fact, we are all going through a lot right now, but then maybe in different dimensions, but we are going through a lot right now. It's an all hands on deck kind of approach. All right, so thank you to Kumuyi for at least putting that message out there. Maybe other churches will buy into that and begin to look into the welfare of their members a bit more and see how they can ameliorate, all right, their sufferings at this point in time.